The janitor picked up a broom instead of a black belt, but when the arrogant instructor challenged her, "Beat me and the dojo is yours," he didn't know that broom wasn't just for cleaning floors. It was for sweeping away his pride. Monica Davis worked quietly, her movements precise and measured. Every stroke of her mop was steady, almost rhythmic, too controlled for an ordinary janitor. But that was the irony of her life. The world only saw the uniform, never the discipline beneath it. Outside the training room, laughter erupted. The morning martial arts class had just ended, and students crowded around Coach Ryan Blake, their charismatic instructor. With his bright smile, chiseled jaw, and spotless white GI, Ryan was the kind of man who fed on attention, and right now he had plenty. "All right, folks," Ryan said, clapping his hands. "Remember, strength is nothing without respect. See you all tomorrow." The students bowed and began to leave, but his grin faltered when he noticed Monica quietly mopping near the entrance. His voice shifted from cheerful to mocking in a heartbeat. "Hey, don't miss that corner, Miss Cleanup Crew," he shouted. "We can't have your work ruining my dojo floor." A few students chuckled awkwardly. Monica didn't look up. She kept cleaning. That only made him smirk wider. "You know, it's funny," he said, turning to his group. "Some people spend years learning discipline through martial arts, and some," he nodded at her, "just learn it with a mop and bucket." The laughter grew louder. Monica paused. Her hand tightened around the mop handle, but her voice when she spoke was calm, almost too calm. "Discipline isn't about how you earn your living," she said quietly. "It's about how you carry yourself while doing it." Ryan blinked, surprised that she'd spoken up. The students went silent. He stepped closer, smirking. "You've got a mouth on you for someone scrubbing my floors." Monica met his gaze, steady, unflinching. "Respect goes both ways, Coach." For a moment, the tension hung in the air. Then Ryan laughed, his voice echoing through the dojo. "Oh, I like that. You think you've got some fight in you, huh?" He looked around at his students, clearly enjoying the attention. "Tell you what," he said, clapping his hands. "Let's make this interesting. If you think you can stand toe-to-toe with me, if you can land a single hit, I'll give you the dojo for a day. You can run it however you want." A murmur ran through the room. His assistant, Tyler, frowned. "Coach, come on, she's just the janitor." Ryan cut him off. "Exactly. So what's the harm?" "I could use a good laugh." Monica slowly set her mop aside. Her face gave nothing away, no anger, no fear, only quiet resolve. "And if you win?" she asked. Ryan grinned. "Then you clean this entire dojo, every mat, every mirror, with your bare hands." The students chuckled, some whispering bets under their breath. Monica nodded once. "All right." Ryan blinked. "All right what?" "I accept." The laughter stopped. Everyone stared as she stepped onto the mat. The faint squeak of her shoes broke the silence as she moved with unassuming grace. Ryan tossed her a spare GI top. She caught it effortlessly, without even looking. That simple motion, fast, balanced, precise, made a few students exchange glances. As she tied the GI top, Ryan stretched, grinning confidently. "Hope you're ready to regret this, janitor." Monica gave a small smile. "I've faced worse things than arrogance." The crowd circled. Phones came out. Tyler reluctantly called. "All right. Match starts in 3, 2, 1. Ryan lunged first, lightning fast, aiming to intimidate. His palm strike shot forward, stopping inches from her chest. "See?" he taunted. "You blinked." But Monica didn't blink. She moved. In a blur, she sidestepped, pivoted, and her open palm connected sharply with his shoulder. Precise, clean, and perfectly timed. The sound of the strike cracked through the silence. Ryan stumbled a step back, eyes wide in disbelief. "You said if I land one hit," Monica said calmly. "That's one." The students gasped. Tyler's jaw dropped. A few even clapped before Ryan snapped. "Quiet!" He tried to laugh it off, but his pride burned hotter than the sting on his shoulder. "Lucky shot," he muttered, rolling his neck. Monica's tone remained gentle, almost sympathetic. "You shouldn't confuse luck with experience." Ryan frowned. "Experience? You—" But she had already turned back to her mop. "Don't worry," she said softly. "You'll understand soon." As she began cleaning again, the dojo filled with a strange, heavy silence, one that carried more respect than mockery this time. Behind her, Ryan stood frozen, his ego shaken for the first time in years, and though no one said it aloud, every student in the room knew. The janitor wasn't just anyone. The next morning, the dojo buzzed with low whispers before class even began. The students gathered near the mats, their eyes darting toward the janitor's closet every few seconds, as if expecting a ghost to emerge. "Did you see that strike yesterday?" one student whispered. Man, she moved like lightning, another replied. I thought she was just a cleaner. Coach looked shook, bro. The conversation died instantly when Ryan Blake entered. His posture was stiff, his smile forced. Normally he would command the room effortlessly. But today, the respect in his students' eyes had shifted, slightly but noticeably, toward the woman with the mop. Monica was there again, silent as ever, cleaning the mirrors. She didn't glance at him, didn't acknowledge the tension that thickened the air, but everyone felt it. Ryan clapped his hands sharply. All right, let's focus up. Line up by rank. The students obeyed, but the energy was off. No laughter, no easy banter, just uneasy silence. As warm-ups began, Ryan stole glances at Monica, who moved quietly from corner to corner, cleaning the floor with the same calm precision as always. The same hands that had dropped him to the mat now held a rag and bucket. It gnawed at him. Finally he snapped. Hey, janitor! The students froze mid-stretch. Monica looked up, expression unreadable. Got any cleaning advice for fighters? Ryan said with a smirk, his tone forced and bitter. Maybe I should mop the floor with you this time. A few students exchanged uneasy glances. Monica took a slow breath and set down her bucket. You seem more upset about losing face than learning from it, she said softly. That's dangerous for a teacher. Ryan's jaw clenched. I didn't lose. It was a fluke. Monica tilted her head slightly. Is that what you tell yourself? Or your students? Gasps echoed through the dojo. Even Tyler, Ryan's assistant, looked uncomfortable. Before Ryan could reply, the sound of the main door opening broke the tension. An older man walked in, Master Kenji Watanabe, the founder of the dojo. His calm presence instantly changed the air. He was in his 60s, sharp-eyed, and respected by everyone. Good morning, Master Kenji said with a bow. I hear there was quite a demonstration yesterday. Ryan straightened. Just a little misunderstanding, sir. A janitor got lucky. Kenji's gaze shifted to Monica. Is that true? Monica bowed politely. I'm sorry if I caused any trouble, Master Kenji. I was only defending myself. Defending yourself? Kenji repeated with interest. In my dojo? Ryan jumped in. It wasn't serious, Master. She just... Kenji raised a hand. Silence. He looked at Monica carefully, studying her stance, her posture, the way her feet rested naturally on the mat. You've trained before? Monica hesitated, then nodded. Yes, sir. Many years ago. Kenji's brow furrowed. Where? Monica's voice softened. At the Westbrook Martial Arts Institute, under Master Li Chen. The name hit Ryan like a punch. Master Li Chen was a legendary instructor, known across the country, and the only man Kenji himself considered an equal. Kenji's expression shifted from curiosity to quiet respect. Li Chen, you were his student? Yes, sir, Monica said. Before I had to stop teaching. Ryan blinked in disbelief. Wait, teaching? Monica nodded. I used to run a youth self-defense program, but funding dried up after the community center closed. Cleaning jobs were all I could find after that. The room went silent. Even the students looked ashamed. Kenji exhaled slowly. It seems, Ryan, you've made a grave mistake. You mocked a teacher without recognizing her wisdom. Ryan swallowed hard, his ego crumbling piece by piece. Monica bowed slightly. Please, don't blame him. He didn't know. I just wanted to do my work quietly. Kenji turned to the class. Humility, he said firmly, is the first lesson every martial artist must learn, and the last they must forget. Then he faced Monica. Would you be willing to demonstrate your technique for the students? Ryan started to protest, but Kenji's glare silenced him instantly. Monica hesitated, then nodded. Yes, sir. The students gathered around as she took off her janitor's jacket and stepped onto the mat. Her movements were fluid, a quiet storm of grace and control. She began a kata sequence with precision so sharp it cut through the air. Every strike, every block was balanced and powerful, yet elegant. No wasted motion, no showmanship, just pure mastery. When she finished, the dojo erupted into applause. Kenji bowed deeply to her. Beautiful form. You have not lost your touch. Monica smiled faintly. I've just been practicing in silence. Ryan stood frozen, humiliated yet awestruck. For the first time, he saw her not as a janitor, but as a master. As the students began bowing to Monica in respect, Kenji looked at Ryan and said, Perhaps, young man, you should clean the mats today. It's the least you can do. The dojo filled with suppressed laughter as Ryan reluctantly picked up the mop Monica had left behind. Monica watched quietly, her expression unreadable, but her eyes held something deeper than pride. It was forgiveness. When the day ended and the dojo emptied, Kenji approached her one last time. "You still teach through example, Miss Davis," he said gently. "Would you consider helping me instruct again?" Monica looked at the mats she'd spent months cleaning, the same mats that had once humiliated her, now a place of redemption. "I'd be honored, Master," she said softly. And as she hung up her janitor's uniform for the night, Monica felt something stir inside her, something that had been buried for far too long. Her fight wasn't over, it was just beginning. A week had passed since that unforgettable day, the day Monica Davis, the woman everyone thought was just the janitor, revealed who she truly was. The dojo felt different now. The once rowdy chatter before class had been replaced by quiet anticipation. Students arrived early, lined up neatly, and whispered Monica's name like it was sacred. "Do you think she's really coming to teach again?" one asked. "She used to train under Li Chen. That's like martial arts royalty," another whispered. Ryan doesn't look too happy about it, though. They weren't wrong. Coach Ryan Blake stood near the edge of the mat, arms crossed tightly, eyes locked on the front door. Every day since Master Kenji's announcement, his pride had been clawing at him from the inside. He had built his reputation on being unbeatable, the young, charismatic coach who commanded respect. But ever since Monica had landed that single strike, his authority had been quietly slipping through his fingers. When the door finally opened, Monica stepped in wearing a simple black training GI, no rank belt, no title, just calm presence. The room instantly straightened. "Good afternoon, everyone," she said with a small nod. "Let's begin." Even her voice carried weight. Ryan forced a smile and clapped his hands. "All right, class. As Master Kenji mentioned, Miss Davis will be joining us as a guest instructor. So, let's show her how we train here at Blake Martial Arts." His tone was polite, but his jaw was tight. Monica bowed respectfully. "Thank you, Coach. Let's start with something simple. Movement drills." She stepped forward and demonstrated a warm-up pattern, fluid, precise, effortless. Her movements were like water, controlled yet free. Students followed along, awkwardly at first, but slowly falling into rhythm. Ryan watched in silence. Every movement she made, every correction she offered, reminded him of what he'd lost: control. "Try to relax your shoulders," Monica said to a nervous student. "Fighting isn't just about strength, it's about balance, between your mind, body, and pride." The student nodded, clearly inspired. After an hour of drills, Master Kenji walked in quietly to observe. His presence commanded instant respect, but today all eyes were on Monica. "Now," she said, "let's practice defensive counters." Ryan smirked. "You mean sparring?" "I think my students are ready for something a little more advanced." Kenji's eyes narrowed. "Coach Blake, you will demonstrate with Miss Davis." Ryan's smirk faltered. "Sir, you heard me." A murmur rippled through the room. Everyone knew what this was: a rematch. Ryan hesitated for a moment, then forced confidence into his voice. "Of course." They bowed to each other. The air grew still. "Begin," Kenji said. Ryan attacked first, fast, aggressive, powerful. His punches sliced through the air, his kicks sharp and precise. Monica barely moved. She flowed around his strikes like smoke, deflecting and redirecting each one with minimal effort. "Come on," Ryan barked. "Fight back." Monica's calm never broke. "You're fighting your anger, not me," she said. That only enraged him further. He lunged again, throwing a spinning back kick. Fast, reckless, desperate. But Monica stepped aside smoothly, caught his arm mid-spin, and swept his leg in one clean motion. Thud. Ryan hit the mat hard. The room gasped. Before he could rise, Monica released him and stepped back, bowing slightly. "Control is strength," she said softly, "not rage." Kenji nodded with pride. "Well done, Miss Davis. Perfect form." Ryan lay still for a moment, staring at the ceiling. The sound of applause filled his ears, burning him from the inside out. After class, Monica helped the students put away the equipment. They crowded around her with questions about technique, training, philosophy. She answered each one patiently, her tone gentle but confident. Ryan watched from the sidelines, fists clenched. Tyler, his assistant, approached quietly. "Hey man, she's good. Maybe it's not such a bad thing, you know." "The students—" Ryan cut him off. "She's showing me up in my own dojo, Tyler. Don't you see it? She's trying to take my place." Tyler frowned. "Or maybe she's trying to help." Ryan's eyes darkened. "No one helps me. I built this place from nothing. I won't let some janitor turned sensei walk in and make me look like a fool. That night, long after everyone had left, Ryan stayed behind. The dojo was dark except for the pale glow of the exit sign. He stood alone on the mat, replaying every move she'd made. Every calm word, every quiet victory. He punched the air faster, harder, trying to drown his frustration in motion. Sweat dripped from his brow, but it didn't wash away the shame. "Beat me and the dojo is yours," he muttered bitterly to himself. And she almost did. In the reflection of the dojo mirror, he saw himself, not as the respected coach he'd once been, but as a man haunted by his own ego. Meanwhile, across town, Monica sat in her small apartment, surrounded by old trophies and faded certificates. A photo of her younger self, standing beside Master Li Chen, rested on the table. She traced her finger along the frame and whispered, "I never wanted to take anything from anyone. I just wanted to teach again." Her phone buzzed. A message from Master Kenji. "Tomorrow we talk about the youth program. You'll lead it." Monica smiled faintly. For the first time in years, she felt purpose returning. But she didn't know that in the shadows of that dojo, Ryan's resentment was growing into something dangerous, something that would soon put both of them to the test. Morning sunlight streamed through the dojo's tall glass windows, cutting through the quiet like a fresh beginning. Dust motes floated in the golden light as the faint scent of sandalwood filled the air. For the first time in years, the space felt peaceful, not ruled by pride or fear, but by respect. The banner that once declared discipline above all now hung beside a new handwritten note pinned by the students. "Respect has no rank." Maya Johnson stood in the middle of the dojo, broom in hand, just as she had 100 mornings before. But this time, it wasn't a symbol of servitude. It was a symbol of victory. Each soft stroke across the floor whispered of change, cleansing, and quiet power. Behind her, a small voice broke the silence. "Miss Maya?" She turned to see Lily, one of the youngest students, holding a small bonsai tree wrapped in red ribbon. "We wanted you to have this," the girl said shyly. "Sensei used to say this tree was for the next master." Maya's eyes softened. "It's beautiful, Lily. Thank you." As she placed the bonsai on the window ledge, the dojo's front door creaked open. Daniel Cole stepped inside. The proud, untouchable black belt from the night before now walked with his shoulders lowered, a bandage on his cheek, humility in his eyes. "Maya," he said quietly. She didn't stop sweeping. "You're here early. Planning to train again?" He hesitated. "No. I came to say I'm sorry." Her hands froze mid-motion. "Sorry?" Daniel nodded, swallowing his pride. "For everything. The insults, the arrogance, the way I treated you. I thought my belt made me better than others. But you reminded me what a real fighter looks like." Maya leaned the broom against the wall and faced him fully. "Martial arts isn't about power, Daniel. It's about discipline, humility, and respect. You had the skill, but not the heart." He lowered his gaze. "You're right. I lost sight of that. I'd like to learn again, properly this time." Her voice softened. "Then start from where all true warriors begin, with nothing." Daniel nodded and unfastened his black belt. Without a word, he replaced it with a white belt from the shelf. When he tied it around his waist, a few students watching from the side clapped quietly, honoring his humility. Just then, the dojo doors opened once more. Mr. Tanaka, the elderly founder of the school, entered, leaning on his cane. His silver hair framed a face marked with age and wisdom. "Maya Johnson," he said, his accent firm but gentle. "I saw the recording. You fought with patience and grace, the way a true martial artist should. The board met last night. We would like to appoint you as the new head instructor of this dojo." A stunned silence filled the room. Daniel's eyes widened, then softened into a smile. "Head instructor?" Maya asked, taken aback. Tanaka nodded. "Yes, your strength lies not only in your fists but in your heart. This place needs someone like you to rebuild its spirit." Maya's voice trembled. "Sir, I only came here to clean floors." Tanaka smiled. "And now you've cleaned more than floors. You've cleansed this place of arrogance." For a long moment, Maya stood silent, emotion swelling in her chest. Finally, she bowed deeply. "Then I accept, not as a replacement, but as a rebirth." The room erupted in applause. Students, young and old, surrounded her with smiles and bows. Even Daniel joined in, bowing deeply, not as an apology, but as respect. By afternoon, the dojo pulsed with new life. Mats were rolled out, laughter replaced whispers, and students practiced under Maya's calm, watchful eye. Her instructions were firm yet kind, her posture balanced and strong. When she corrected Lily's stance, the young girl looked up and said, "Sensei, are you happy?" Maya smiled. "More than I've ever been." As the day ended, sunlight painted the dojo in orange hues. Maya sat quietly by the bonsai tree, tracing its small green leaves. The once broken spirit inside her had finally bloomed again. Suddenly, the young boy who had filmed the fight peeked through the door. "Sensei, your video's gone viral. Millions are watching it, calling you the Janitor Sensei." Maya chuckled softly. "Let them call me what they want. Titles never mattered. Respect does." When the boy left, she stood and faced the large mirror on the far wall. Her reflection stared back, calm, strong and sure. For the first time in years, she reached into her bag and pulled out her old, worn black belt, the one she had earned long ago but stopped wearing after tragedy drove her from the ring. With quiet pride, she tied it around her waist once more. Then she turned toward the dojo doors, where a new sign gleamed in the fading sunlight, Maya Dojo, where strength begins with respect. A smile touched her lips. For Maya Johnson, life had come full circle, from janitor to sensei, from silence to strength. And as the sun dipped beyond the horizon, her story became more than a victory. It became a lesson the whole world would remember.